Welcome to this video, guys. It's going to be on factorizing by inspection. In the video before this, we did factorizing by long division. That's a bit of a longer method. Factorizing by inspection is a bit more complicated, but you can get it done much easier, but you are also more likely to make a mistake in this method, so you need to make sure you do it correctly and follow the correct steps. But you'll see it's much shorter, especially when you get used to patterns and seeing things. Okay, so to start off, again, firstly, we need to work out one of the factors. I showed you how to do that in the previous video. So I know one of the factors is, or one value that satisfies this equation equaling 0 is x equals 2. So then one of the factors is x minus 2. Okay, so with the first factor, what you do is you make your brackets for the next factor. Okay, you see that we need an x squared. Okay, so we need to obviously multiply this first term by x. So that gives us our x squared. Okay, the second term here, we need is something that satisfies our plus 14, and we have a minus 2. So what times minus 2 gives us plus 14? That would be a minus 7. So there you go. That is that question done. Okay, so if we do multiply this out, we get x squared, okay, which is what we need. Then we have minus 7x. This times that is minus 2x minus 7. So we get x squared minus 9x plus, that's not right, that's plus 14, sorry, which is plus 14, which is the question. So we know that that is the correct answer, or that this is the correct answer, rather. But we checked the answer by carrying that out. You don't have to check your answer. I just wanted to show you that it does give you the correct answer. Okay, so that is your final answer. Okay, looking at this next question, we know that the factor for this was y equals minus 1, so the factor is y plus 1. Okay, so now we write our brackets out. What times y gives us 2y squared? So that needs to go first, and that's obviously 2y. And what times 1 gives us negative 3, which is a minus 3. And those are our two factors. Again, you can multiply this out and make sure that you get the right answer, and you should. Okay, looking at this next question, we have x equals y, so we have in fact of x minus y. Okay, if you guys are uncertain how I'm getting to these first factors, you can go and watch a previous video. Okay, and then, okay, so this one I'm going to leave a bit more space because we have a cubed. So this one's a bit more interesting. So I know we're going to need an x squared. That will give us our x cubed, and I know we need a positive y squared to give us our negative y cubed. So this times those two, or times rather, times those two together, and it gives you the last term. So what happens is, when we multiply these two terms together, we're going to get a value, which is minus x squared y. But as you can see in the original, there's no such term. So we need to get rid of it. And to get rid of it, we need to introduce a positive x squared y, okay, which is multiplied by this first term. Okay, so if we need a positive x squared y, we need to multiply x by positive x y. Okay, so that's our answer. Okay, I'm going to multiply this one out just so that you guys can see that the answer is correct. Okay, so this, we're going to multiply x into everything. So we get x cubed plus x squared y plus xy squared. Okay, then we're going to multiply a negative y into everything. Minus x squared y minus xy squared minus y cubed. So we have x squared. This cancels with this term, xy squared cancels with minus xy squared, and we're left with our answer. Okay, so we know that that is correct. Okay, but So when working with the first question, I multiplied these two terms to get the middle term. What happens if I multiply the outer two terms? Okay, we should, in theory, get the same answer. So now let me switch colors rather so that you can see. So now I'm going to multiply the outer two terms. So the outer two terms gives me an xy squared, a positive xy squared. So I need a negative xy squared. So now I need to see what, when multiplied by the other term, which is my minus y, gives us this negative xy squared. And it's going to be a positive xy. So we come to the same answer using both methods. So that's our answer. Okay. Looking at this last question, we know that x equals 1 gives us 0, so we need a factor of x minus 1. Okay, to get this 4x squared, we need a 4x squared. To get this minus 1, or plus 1, we need a minus 1 here. Okay, so now let's multiply this outer term, which gives us a minus 4x squared, and there is a minus 4x squared. So we can leave that as it is. Multiplying the outer terms, we get a minus x, and there is a minus x there. So that means we don't need a middle term. So our answer is x minus 1 for x squared minus 1. Okay, but again, we know that we can use dots to factorize that more. So this becomes x minus 1, 2x minus 1, 2x plus 1. And that is then our final answer. Okay guys, I hope you found this useful. Again, like I said, you're more likely to make a mistake with this, but it is much faster. So if you work accurately, then you shouldn't have a problem, and I hope this video helped. Yeah, thanks for watching.